All hooks open.
All hooks are open. And undocking confirmed. Freedom is free of its moorings. Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore begin their belated trip home.
Separation confirmed.
And here is an interesting update. Mission Control has confirmed that Dragon Freedom has officially exited the approach ellipsode. Now, for those less familiar with the term, the approach ellipsode is essentially a protective zone around the International Space Station. Now, this means that even if the spacecraft were to lose all maneuvering capability, it would remain at a safe distance from the station for at least 24 hours. Now, ahead of the crossing, this three-dimensional imaginary line, they crossed the kept-out spare at 10:44 p.m. IST after undocking, which involved removing umbilical and attachment hooks. Now, Space Dragon Freedom, which is now making its way to Earth, will have no stops en route to arrive approximately at 3:30 a.m. on 19th of March. Now, although the exact location of splashdown is still unknown, the exact location of landing will depend on local weather conditions. Joining us on the broadcast is Meela Mitra. She's been an ex-NASA scientist. Thank you very much, ma'am, for speaking to Republic. First and foremost, how do you feel about it? 9 months of wait, it's finally going to end, and the astronauts will be back on Earth.
Yes, so as you know, everybody on Earth is very excited about Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore, and of course joining them are one more astronaut and cosmonaut. It's been a long mission. It is only unexpected because they were expecting to go for 8 days, and because of different technical problems, several errors in a row, they landed up staying there for 9 months. However, it's not unprecedented. Many astronauts do stay regularly for 6 months. And, a lot of people were worried about her, but there are supplies and astronauts coming and going. So it was unexpected, but
yeah.
it is exciting that they're back. They will be back.
What do you think are the challenges that Sunita Williams, along with others, will have to face once they land on Earth? Because remember, it's been 9 months that they have been there. So I'm sure they will have to face some challenges there as well, be it physically or maybe mentally as well.
Right. So yeah, physically there are a lot of challenges about being in space because it's in a microgravity atmosphere. So gravity doesn't work on your body. So the bones tend to atrophy a bit, which is why a lot of astronauts do a lot of exercise. And I don't know if you know, but Sunita Williams actually ran the Boston Marathon while she was in ISS once to show that exercise. But yes, there are mentally, you'll feel a little weak and dizzy. And, also the orientation, because there is no up-down orientation in space. So they will have to handle several health issues and, getting back to normal after that.
Absolutely. Meela Mitra, one last question before I let you go. What do you think took the Americans so long to bring back Sunita and Butch Wilmore back to Earth? Because it's been a long journey for them as well.
Right. So when they first went for the 8-day mission, she went on the Boeing Starliner, and it was the Boeing Starliner's first mission, and right. It was in fact the mission on which it would be getting certified. And even during launch, it had some technical problems, and it right. landed up with technical problems. But then it was not just that they could not be brought back, but they fell out of the process. So there had to be replacement astronauts that went, and there were replacement astronauts that went in September 2024. And only 2 out of 4 scheduled astronauts went. So Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore could come back. And then they had to wait for the next set of replacement astronauts, right. which have just gone. Crew right. 10 has just gone. And they will, in fact, be coming back in the Crew 9 Freedom. It's called Dragon Freedom. Right. And the ones that just went is called Dragon Enterprise. So they will be taking the older crew, cab back. Right. But they had to wait for these astronauts to come and hand over before they could come back.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, ma'am, for speaking to Republic.
Okay, thank you.
Meanwhile, back on Earth, Prime Minister Narendra Modi wrote a heartfelt letter to Indian origin Sunita Williams. Now, interestingly, in this letter, Prime Minister Modi mentioned that her name had come up in a conversation he had earlier this month with former NASA astronaut Mike. Now, during his visit to Delhi, he said, and I quote, 1.4 billion Indians have always taken great pride in your achievements. Talking about Williams, who will finally return to her home planet, Internet, is all praise SpaceX CEO Elon Musk for Sunita and Butch return as it exploded in anticipation of their arrival. Have a look. Meanwhile, the internet is all praising SpaceX CEO Elon Musk for Sunita and Butch's return. Have a look. Now, the upcoming journey towards her splashdown moment for Williams, slated for 3:27 a.m. on March 19, also brings back memories of her last splashdown in 2012. On your screen, viewers, you have a visibly healthier-looking Sunita Williams back in the day. However, her weight loss over the course her recent mission is even more evident. Now, following their return, Sunita and Butch will undergo 45 days of intensive rehabilitation to help their bodies adjust to gravity after months in a weightless environment. From rebuilding muscle strength to recalibrating their balance, this process is all about getting their Earth legs back under them. We have with us Dr. Jimmy Prabhakar, Senior Consultant at Rela Hospital, Chennai, to educate us on specific health hurdles Williams and Butch Wilmore would be prone to. Thank you very much, Jimmy, for speaking to Republic. What I do want to know from you is that what are the first and the foremost challenges that the two have to face once they land back on Earth?
Good evening, all. Once after a prolonged stay in the space station for about 9 months, the moment they come back to the Earth, they might be experiencing some sort of a gravity sickness. Usually, they have a lot of vertigo, giddiness, and instability while walking. This mainly because of the labyrinthine and the vestibular system has to get readjusted because of the microgravity in the space station. Once they come back to the Earth with the gravity, there might be some sort of space adaptation syndrome and gravity sickness. That's the foremost problem. And then subsequently, you can have and microgravity, there is muscle mass will get thinner and muscle atrophy can take place. And because not able to have a full weight bearing when they are in the space, because all the muscles and the bone and joints, they get demineralized. They are prone for early osteoporosis like changes, and the strength of the muscle mass, everything will come down. So significant weight loss can happen when they come back. So sort of a rehabilitation program has to be instituted. And because of prolonged stay in the 9 months of stay, there might be some sort of a visual disturbances. Absolutely. Because there might be cerebral edema around the perioptic nerve, which can contribute to the visual disturbances. And slowing of all the reflexes and the cardiovascular functions that can get affected. The pumping efficiency of the heart has to be closely monitored because the anemia can develop, hemoglobin production can be reduced. And because of the prolonged exposure to cosmic radiations, they can have a genetic variations, genetic mutations can take place. And in the long run, they are susceptible for infections, and as well as malignancies also has to be under close observation and close monitoring. And since they have been taking food in the space station, the normal protective gut flora in the intestines, the probiotics, may not be that much evident in the space. So they might have some sort of a gastrointestinal manifestations, some bloating and vomiting sensations can have, and mental health issues and they can have some sort of an irritability, depression, skin changes,
Absolutely.
and higher functions, coordination.
Yes.
They can get affected.
Yes, I was just coming to that point. Right. I was just coming to that point, Doctor. Now, the physical challenges we have spoken about. What I want to know from you is that what kind of mental challenges will they have to face once they land back on Earth?
Yeah, they have been completely isolated over the last 9 months. They don't have enough manpower there. So once they come back to into Mother Earth, and definitely they might have some sort of an irritability in the brain. There might be some sort of a cognitive impairment.
Right.
So memory disturbances might be there. So we have to have a proper rehabilitation program. I think we have planned for 45 days.
Absolutely.
Rehabilitation program to slowly get back to their normalcy, and I'm sure they will get back to it sooner than expected.
Right. Thank you very much, sir, for speaking to Republic and joining us here on the broadcast. Now, the world awaits with bated breath for the heroic splashdown of heroes beyond Earth's atmosphere. The timeline that you see on your screens is the splashdown timeline. 2:15 a.m. IST is when the return coverage begins. 2:41 a.m. is when the deorbit burns. And going ahead, it is at 3:27 a.m. that the splashdown, the big moment, is expected. That is Indian time. 5 a.m. Indian time, it is the return to Earth and a media conference that will be held by the astronauts, by Sunita and Butch Wilmore, and also the team of other astronauts who had gone to rescue them. Moving on, the parents of missing University of Pittsburgh student Sudiksha Konanki want Dominican Republic officials to declare their 20-year-old daughter dead. Now, this despite authorities never finding her body, according to reports. The family sent a formal letter to authorities on Monday acknowledging there is no suspected foul play involved in Konanki's presumed death after she vanished from a Punta Cana beach in the early hours of March 6th. This has been told by sources. Now, the father and mother also wrote that they trust the authorities' probe into the case and noted Joshua Rabe, the last person to see the young woman alive, has cooperated with the investigators. Now, the simplest of tasks can truly seem fascinating when it's about the hot trends. Here are some of them. The simplest of tasks can truly seem fascinating when it's carried out beyond Earth's atmosphere. After astronaut Karen viral hair washing footage, our video of European Space Agency's Italian astronaut Luca doing the same in space is doing the rounds on social media. Now, in this video, water applied to the head surface can be seen traveling in a back and forth fashion. In an awe-inspiring feat, now Vasanthi Chiruvattiri, a 59-year-old tailor from Kerala, trekked solo to Everest Base Camp without formal training. She prepared for it by watching videos on YouTube. For 4 months, she trained at home, walking on for 4 hours, exercising regularly, and even practicing wearing trekking boots to get comfortable with the gear. She previously traveled solo to Thailand and now dreams of visiting the Great Wall of China. After an Indian athletes brought glory to the nation at the Special Olympics World Winter Games held in Italy, Prime Minister Modi congratulated them for their accomplishments while meeting the contingent at the Parliament. The Prime Minister further praised them for bringing home 33 medals.
Tomorrow, announcing and giving all of the Kennedy files. So people have been waiting for decades for this.
United States President Donald Trump will make public around 80,000 pages of files related to former President John F. Kennedy on March 18. Earlier, Trump this year signed an executive order directing the federal government to present a plan to release records related to assassinations of Kennedy, his brother Robert Kennedy, and Martin Luther Jr. King. President Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump will hold a phone call between 6:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. IST. While there is a certain understanding that the United States, there are also many questions. Meanwhile, Ukraine tells Russia to agree to an unconditional ceasefire before the call actually takes place at the hope for a fair, lasting resolution to the war. The former CEO of Microsoft and philanthropist Bill Gates is on a visit to India for the third time in 3 years. His visit to India marks the 25th anniversary of Gates Foundation. During this esteemed visit, Gates met with Union Agricultural Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan on Monday, where both discussed agriculture, rural development, women's empowerment, and several other issues. Gold prices are hitting records high right now. On the MCX, it crossed 89,000 per 10 grams, and internationally, it's broken the $3,000 an ounce mark. Viewers, so what's going on? Well, combination of factor is fueling up this surge. Even with all this instability, gold is seen as a stable investment, keeping its value where other markets are volatile. So why are gold prices on the rise? What are the current market trends? To simplify all this for you, I spoke to Chandan Taparia, who is the head of derivatives and technical research at Motilal Oswal. Thank you very much for speaking to Republic TV. What is your take on the current market scenario?
So really, after a long time, we have seen a decent run up in the broader indices. As of now, the Nifty index is up by around 280 points, heading back to 22,800 zone. We have noticed that last 5 months were negative for Indian market, starting from October to Feb 2025. It happened first time in the history of last 20-25 years that Indian market remained negative for 5th consecutive months. So somehow the reason was FIs selling. They were continuously selling in last couple of months. However, still they are selling, but looking at the recent market scenario, we believe that now short covering trigger will happen from the FIs front. The good part is that market is from the base near 22,000 zone just couple of weeks back or couple of days back, and now it is decisively holding well above 22,500 marks. And we believe that till Nifty also about 22,500, ongoing bounce could extend to us 23,000 to 23,333.
Trending news in a pacey format. That is what Fast Takes is all about. With immediate effect, Donald Trump has ended the Secret Service protection details assigned to Democrat Joe Biden's adult children, which the former president had extended to July shortly before leaving the office in January. Taking to Truth Social, Trump said, and I quote, Hunter Biden has had Secret Service protection for an extended period of time, all paid for by the United States taxpayers. External Affairs Minister S.J. Shankar today stressed the importance of having an international order just like a domestic order. Now, his comments came when he slammed the United Nations for making the Kashmir invasion a dispute and turning the attacker a victim at par, and called for having a strong and fair United Nations.
What we saw in Kashmir. Now, we went to the UN. What was an invasion was made into a dispute. So the attacker and the victim were put on par. Who were the culpable parties? UK, Canada, Belgium, Australia, USA.
Israel launched a series of airstrikes across the Gaza Strip earlier today, killing over 400 Palestinians. IDF claimed that it was striking dozens of Hamas targets in its heaviest assault in the territory. Soon after the attack, Hamas accused Netanyahu of upending the ceasefire agreement and exposing the hostages to an unknown fate. As Tesla gears up for grand entry into the Indian automotive market, it is plans to launch its battery electric vehicles before August 2025. Now, according to reports, in the initial phase, the US-based electric vehicle maker aims to import and sell 10,000 units across major cities, including Mumbai, Delhi and Bengaluru. Now, the move follows years of discussions between the company and the Indian government regarding the investment, import duties and local manufacturing. The source also stated that Tesla is open to increasing its allocations to India if the government permits it and further reduces duty rates. Reports also suggested that Tesla India has already identified prime locations for its showroom, securing spaces in Mumbai's Bandra Kurla complex and New Delhi's Aerocity area. The company even posted job openings for 13 roles, including customer-facing and back-end positions, to give all the insights about the same. We have my colleague Pranav from the digital newsroom. Pranav, it's good news for the Indians. Talk to us about what is it that the Indians will have to look out for if they're finding a job in Tesla?
Okay, Tanisha, as we reported, Republic Business was the first one to report earlier today that Tesla will be starting its India operations in the next about 3 to 4 months. What we've been given to understand is that initially, to begin with, in phase 1, Tesla will be importing 10,000 units of its vehicles. In terms of what Indians can look forward to, the two models that are expected to hit the Indian markets are the Model 3 and Model Y, which are likely to be priced somewhere north of 70 lakh or 80 lakh. But that's yet something that only sources have told us. We reached out to Tesla and a response from them is still awaited. But yes, that's what we can look forward to in terms of the entry of Tesla and the kind of models that we can expect.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Pranav, for sharing all those details. Now, I leave you with these stunning visuals of India's naval officers showcasing the military might and brilliance. Watch these visuals as I bid you goodbye.
As the call to duty echoes across the waters, the Indian Navy surges to life. A mighty force ready to dominate. Ever vigilant to protect our nation's interests across the vast expanse of the oceans.
And you see at the hatchway the 4 departing Crew 9 crew members posing for some final photos. Final handshakes and hugs between the departing Crew 9 crew members and the crew members who will remain on board the International Space Station, maintaining a continuous human presence on the orbital laboratory that began on November 2nd, 2000.
All hooks open.
All hooks are open. And undocking confirmed.
Influencer Ori caught mocking Hindu faith. Shameless act in sacred place. Law broken, sentiments insulted. Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
And you see at the hatchway the 4 departing Crew 9 crew members posing for some final photos. Final handshakes and hugs between the departing Crew 9 crew members and the crew members who will remain on board the International Space Station, maintaining a continuous human presence on the orbital laboratory that began on November 2nd, 2000.
All hooks open.
All hooks are open. And undocking confirmed. Freedom is free of its moorings. Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore begin their belated trip
Dragon
home.
Separation confirmed.
Undocking occurring right on time at 12:05 a.m. Central Time, 1:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Good motion, good stability on Dragon as it backs away.
Freedom, SpaceX on the big loop, depart burn 0 nominal.
Good opening rate reported by the
Influencer Ori caught mocking Hindu faith. Shameless act in sacred place. Law broken, sentiments insulted. Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic. From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate. Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. There is this socialite influencer called ORRY, Ori, whatever that means, who is famous for doing nothing, but is very, very, very close to Rahul Gandhi and all these types of Bollywood celebrities. And this socialite brat influencer seems, we are told, to have gone underground after being part of a huge booze party near Vaishno Devi. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a booze party near the holiest of holy shrines of Vaishno Devi. This shows that for people like him, influencers like him, people who are famous for doing nothing, respecting Indian culture does not matter. Respecting Hindu sentiments does not matter. Because these people are famous for doing nothing. And now this Ori fellow has gone underground and joins the club of digital good-for-nothings like Ranveer Allahabadia and Samay Raina, all of whom have an identity crisis, with one foot in Mumbai and another permanently in Minnesota, a confused wannabe American identity crisis, which is why their jaws drop when we tell them that their values, or whatever it is, or rather should I say their absence of values, do not belong to India. These people, this Ori, Ranveer Allahabadia, Samay Raina, Apurva Makhija, this dirty influencer brigade, are examples of the worst which has happened to one Indian generation. And while others from their generation do the country proud, achieve academic laurels globally, embark on space and AI startups, create and generate jobs, and contribute to the future of Bharat, these Oris, these Samay Rainas, these Ranveer Allahabadias make us look away in shame and in disgust. They disgust us. They and the people who promote them now must reconsider their steps. They must stop bringing shame to India and understand that shallowness of this variety can only take you this far. These, the Oris, the Samay Rainas, the Ranveer Allahabadias, are those shallow people. And it is time for them, we appeal to them, to stop doing what they are doing and exhibiting their feet of clay. Ladies and gentlemen, debate one tonight. A socialite influencer who does a booze party near Vaishno Devi joins the Ranveer Allahabadia club. Debate number two tonight. Will we see a breakthrough between Putin and Trump tonight? And debate number three this evening. My final debate. A Muslim mob once again creates a riot, this time in Nagpur. Who's provoking the Muslim mobs? That's at 9, and here are the headlines this Tuesday evening on The Debate Tonight. This so-called socialite influencer famous for doing nothing, known as Ori, is now absconding after being booked by the Jammu and Kashmir police along with 7 others for having a booze party near the sacred Vaishno Devi shrine. Ladies and gentlemen, he has now joined the club of dirty influencers like Ranveer Allahabadiya and Samir Raina. US President Donald Trump is set to engage in a crucial conversation with Russian President Vladimir Putin today, aiming to finalize a ceasefire in the Ukraine war. This call marks a major shift in US policy as Trump's administration distances itself from previous democratic strategies and seeks to reduce American investment in the conflict. Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis, the Chief Minister, claim that the violence in Nagpur by the Muslim mob was orchestrated and not spontaneous. 50 arrests have been made after the Muslim mob, allegedly incited by false rumors. The Muslim mob torched vehicles and clashed with the police, and the Muslim mob injured over 25 personnel. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Rahul Gandhi's brat socialite influencer friend called Ori joins the club of Ranveer Allahabadiya, Samir Raina and Apurva Makhija, and now we are told he's gone into hiding after being named and shamed for sacrilege and alcoholism near the sacred Vaishno Devi shrine. Ladies and gentlemen, what's up with this brat and dirty influencer brigade? Let's debate.
Watch these visuals again. Brat influencer Ori throwing a booze party and feasting on non-vegetarian food near one of the country's holiest shrines. While rules clearly forbid liquor consumption and meat eating near the sacred Vaishno Devi shrine, Ori and his brat friends couldn't care less. From Ori, Ranveer Allahabadiya to Samir Raina, the brazen disregard for ethics, morality and sentiments is endemic with the brat influencer brigade. When publicly shamed and confronted over the brazen abuse and filth on air, they run from the cameras or go off radar. And as public fury mounts and the chorus grows for Ori to face the law for offending Sanatan sentiments, Rahul's brat influencer friend has gone into hiding. As the storm over booze party rages, the nation is calling for action.
होटल को क्यों नहीं लॉक किया जाता? होटल के किसी बंदे ने ये सारी चीजें वहां परोसी ना? होटल को लॉक कर दो, बंद कर दो. ऐसा होटल कटरा के अंदर नहीं चाहिए.
The message is loud and clear. Make the Sanatan betas pay.
And I don't understand what the Chief Minister is doing, because when a fashion show was held in Gulmarg, Omar Abdullah ordered an inquiry. But when a sacred Hindu shrine has been repeatedly disrespected, and when alcohol and non-vegetarian food, which is banned in that area near Mata and Vaishno Devi shrine, is being served, and there are these late-night parties which this influencer organizes at Mata Vaishno Devi shrine, they'd say, what's the big deal? Why can't Hindus be a bit more tolerant about this? He's only an influencer. Manvi Taneja, Vivek Srivastav, Samir Soni. I want to first bring in Dushyant Sridhar. Dushyant. Now, he knew. And he knew it was not allowed. They knew it was not allowed. And it's a big deal. A feeling is that the rules don't apply to them. And anyone who tells them not to have booze, alcohol, or whatever else they were consuming are backward. Dushyant, I want your take on this.
Namaskaram Arnab, and namaskaram to all my fellow panelists. Adi Shankaracharya remains one of the towering personalities in Sanatana Dharma. While he pays his salutations to the mother, he says, Astam Tavadiyam Prasuti Samaye Durvara Shulavyatha. Oh mother, you take so much of pain to deliver me. He pays this as his tribute to any mother, the mother who delivers us. And when he speaks about Jagannatha, he says, Taniyam sampam sum tavacharana panke ruhabhavam, describing her beauty, the vatsalyam that she has. And one such shrine that celebrates motherhood and mother is Vaishno Devi. And crores of pilgrims travel to this particular place. And whoever be it, I don't understand what is this social media influencer. Whoever gets influenced, I think they need to get themselves checked. But keeping these remarks aside, when a person goes to a spiritual place, they need to adhere to the rules of that place.
Yeah.
It could be a mosque, it could be a church, it could be a temple. And when you knowingly commit it, it is a crime. And when you have the audacity to commit the crime, you should have the audacity to face the consequences of the crime. You shouldn't go hiding. And I did like one of the opening remarks that you made, Arnav. You did say that there is a generation that has lost a certain set of values. I'm nobody to comment on somebody's drinking or eating habits because it's their choice. But when you go to a place of worship, somewhere in the vicinity, and if there are rules, follow. And if you don't follow, it simply means you've taken the religion for granted and its values for granted. So my only worry is, Arnav, such influencers, how many millions of youngsters are going to get influenced by such people? I don't know who this Ori is, but just a few pictures and I don't want to characterize any person. That's wrong of me. But I don't know what his profession is. But if his profession is to influence youngsters to disobey rules, I'm very sorry. This is not the generation that we would like to live.
His profession is to hang around with rich and powerful people and post videos with them and show that influence by saying, I don't give a damn about Hindu sentiments. And because, I can't hear you, Vivek, because he has rich and powerful people as his support base, he possibly thinks he can get away with it. But we've got to tell him together that he's not going to get away with it. That's the only message we need to send to them. Yes, Vivek, what's your problem?
No. What I'm trying to say is that we still haven't heard from Uri. We have not taken.
There's nothing to hear.
Nobody knows.
You can't have a booze party at Vaishno Devi.
You know, at least somebody needs to talk to him. No?
There's nothing to talk about. He needs to come. He needs to be arrested for this.
Yeah,
anyone else did this, they would be arrested.
At least we need to listen to his side of the story.
What is there to listen? I'll open the phone lines.
Yes.
Okay, I'll open the phone lines. Samir Soni, where do you stand on this? Samir, this dirty influencer narrative is going on. Ranveer Alabadia, Samay Raina, Apurva Makhija, dirty jokes, dirty conversations, and now booze parties and booze parties near Vaishno Devi, and you'll make reels of booze parties and put it out.
You are trying to advocate.
That's what you want to do.
Social media, which is wrong.
Samir Soni, please, well-known actor and director.
Vivek,
Samir.
Can you just relax? Yeah, Arnab, on the surface, this looks like a very innocuous thing. That so what if he does that? But if you were to dig deeper, it is wrong at so many levels. I mean, it's wrong in the sense you're committing a crime. You're drinking where you're not supposed to drink. You're being insensitive to drink where you have things like Vaishno Devi, where people, literally walk on the all fours for miles to go up. And it is so irresponsible, and you're gloating about it as if you've done something good, and then you call yourself an influencer. I mean, it's a reflection of the society we live in. At the cost of, hey, I get more likes, more view. You can talk rubbish if you want. The more absurd you are, the language you use, and you're considered cool. That is what worries me. I have a daughter who's 12 years old, and if she listens to all this, I mean, what's happening to our culture, to us? Really, we as a generation, I feel, have failed. We have failed to stop these people and say, look, it's not cool to be using abusive language. It is not cool to be cracking these jokes. It's not cool. And yeah, that's what I think. It's appalling. In a word, it's really appalling.
Yeah, and we are opening calls on this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the latest case of a dirty influencer Ranveer Alabadia. Even more dirty influencer Samay Raina. Dirty influencer Apurva Makhija, and disrespectful to Hindus.
Arnav, he's just paying a
disrespectful to Hindus. Influencer ORRY. Rahul Gandhi's best friend. This is enough, ladies and gentlemen. We need to put our foot down. Yes, Manvi.
Yeah, Arnav, see, he is just paying a price of being a celebrity. If you ask me, it's hotel management fault. First of all, why the bags were not scanned at the time
He's
of
a
checking?
celebrity. That's why he was drinking at Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine, because he's a celebrity.
Glasses along with food, non-veg foods were provided in his room. How it is possible? Why do you have a selective approach that Auri is only responsible? The hotel management is equally
Everyone's responsible. I'm sorry.
We do have barricades. We do have barricades, scanners the minute we approach towards the Darbar. But why don't we have any barricades or scanners at when we approach Katra?
Absolutely.
Just like Gujarat and Bihar?
1 minute. Dushyant wanted to respond to that.
Arnav.
Dushyant.
Arnav, we all know it's not flattery that you are a celebrity. In case you go to Vaishno Devi, is it your mistake of ordering booze, which is liquor, or is it
somebody
the
must have
hotel's
provided him?
of not
Somebody
finding
must have
the liquor
provided
that you
him
have?
non-veg.
When you are a celebrity, it
he
is
would
your
have not
duty to
carried
carry
non-veg
the
from Jammu or somewhere else.
society.
Somebody
It is
must
not
have
the
given it to
hotel's
him.
problem.
So hotel
You are a
management somewhere
celebrity.
down
You
the
keep
line is
posting
responsible
photos. It is
to
your
provide
problem.
him
You
with
should do
non-veg.
it.
And what about the scanners? The scanner did not work properly, or they have just passed by. You cannot enter the hotel like this. The bags are scanned.
1 crore people visit the Vaishno Devi Shrine every year. Hindus are 80% of this population. Auri should have known. And he knew.
Don't you?
He knew.
And Auri was not there in the room.
How do you know he knew? Maybe he did not
There
know.
are a couple of people,
Nobody
but
has
no
taken
one
a
wants to talk
statement.
about
And anyway,
them.
don't use this as an excuse.
Excuse
Don't use
for
this as
what?
an excuse for moral
Excuse for
policing
what?
And for trying to control the
I'm
social
doing
media
moral
and the
policing
YouTubers.
by saying don't drink at Mata Vaishno Devi
Don't
Shrine.
try to use Auri as an excuse.
I'm
to
sorry,
control the social media
you
and
can't
the
have an
YouTubers.
alcohol party at Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine and then say, I'm a famous fellow, famous for doing nothing, but hanging around with B-grade
But then, I
Bollywood
mean,
celebrities,
see,
so you can't touch me.
No, you are
Let
instigating
alone
the majority
alcohol or
community.
non-veg
You are
food,
instigating the
even
majority
onion and
community
garlic is
for a law and
selectively
order
used
issue.
there.
No, this is how Nagpur happens.
If he
happened in
wants to
Nagpur
have
yesterday was
booze,
because of incidents like this.
if alcohol is his priority, he can drink and do whatever he wants, but not at Mata Vaishno Devi
Maybe
Shrine.
not. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe he did not.
It's
know the
not
rules.
a
I don't
mistake.
know.
It cannot be a
But then
mistake.
you
He's
are
an
dragging
adult.
the entire cabal of the YouTubers and
Dushyant,
all these things are bad.
Or
I'm
no,
a moral policing
why did they
शुरू कर
first
दी
of all go to Vaishno Devi?
आप कामाख्या देवी गए हैं? Have you been to Kamakhya Devi?
Why did they go?
Do
Why
you know
did they
Kamakhya
go?
Devi?
Vaishno.
Do you know Chandi Devi? Do you know Kali Devi? Temples? Should I give you a list of 100 plus temples of the goddess?
Should I open
where
lines?
Non-vegetarian food is allowed and sacrifices are done?
Call
Are you aware of it, Mr. Shekhar? Or not? That is also a part of the Sanatan. That is also a part of the Hindu so-called culture. So don't try to just, yes, what he did was wrong. If he has taken a booze over there, that should not have been done. If he has done it knowingly, it should be condemned, no doubt. But don't try to use it as an excuse to say all influencers are bad. Moral policing should be done.
Well, I'm sorry, but if you want to, Vaishno Devi Shrine is not a party zone. It's not a picnic spot and not a party site. I'm sorry, you need to know your limits. I'd like to get in Samir Soni on this, ladies and gentlemen. Samir.
Yeah. Arnav, I can't even believe someone's defending an act like this. We are not saying all social influences are bad, but we are calling out the people who are influencing people who are impressionable in the wrong way. It's not a matter of religion, it's a matter of sensibilities. I mean, if I am a celebrity and if I do a stupid thing, that's no excuse. What is wrong, regardless if I'm a celebrity or not. You just can't be a celebrity to take all the bouquets, and when the big bats come, you say, oh, I can't handle this.
No, he turned Vaishno Devi.
Samir, I wonder,
Samir.
I really wonder if the similar thing had happened in middle. Sorry, go on.
No,
go on.
Yeah, he wanted to show his power by being an influencer because he has rich and powerful friends. He can land there in a helicopter or by whatever mode of transport. He's showing how influential he is, that he can go into a dry zone. There is a 2-kilometer area around Vaishno Devi, Mata Vaishno Devi track in Katra, which is a dry zone. Liquor is not legally available. Liquor is not legally sold. Liquor is not legally consumed. This man went and procured the liquor. He showed that he has the money to bring in liquor into the Mata Vaishno Devi shrine area. He could have done this party anywhere in the country. He did it at Mata Vaishno Devi shrine. And obviously he must have put a feed out in the social media. He smuggled alcohol, purchased this elsewhere, broke security checks, brought it in, and deliberately he did the party at the Mata Vaishno Devi shrine area. He deliberately did it. Of course he did it deliberately. There was deliberate intent.
I don't support him. But you are
there was deliberate intent. People like him deliberately do this because they have rich and powerful friends.
Said that the hotel management staff was also involved. So, I mean, you cannot just... And secondly, freedom of expression is over there.
Freedom of drinking alcohol at Vaishno Devi shrine. This is all that these dirty influencers have to do now. A lot of logistical effort went into planning a booze party at Vaishno Devi shrine.
No. I'm sorry.
Yes, everybody involved in this logistical effort. Everybody who was there with him must be arrested.
It's Ori. He's a celebrity. That's why we all are talking about
celebrity?
it. Had it been common man taking a booze
Any common man drinking alcohol would have been in jail by now.
See, you cannot keep a track.
This celebrity will hire lawyers.
Uske liye, you need to have scanners, just like Gujarat and Bihar and dry states. You need to have it. Otherwise, you will not come to know ki kaun leke ja raha hai.
Madam, the 2-kilometer area around Mata Vaishno Devi track in Katra is a dry zone. Don't you know?
Then how come non-veg was served at...
That is it. The man who deliberately organized it there by spending money.
Not at all. The hotel management is at a fault.
Then find out who did it.
The
hotel management did it for someone. Dushyant is on the... It was deliberately done.
Yeah, I think the hotel management misguided him. The hotel management...
No.
Who is at fault? Ori or the hotel management?
Arnab,
but we are not discussing कि कौन लेके आया, किसने consume किया. We are discussing that, and we are also not discussing along with Ori. There are 6-7 other people. We are not talking about them, but only because, as I said, that he's a celebrity, everybody will focus on him only. Everybody's been.
I mean, these dirty celebrities with dirty comments, dirty language, dirty behavior, and now dirty intent.
Despite of having checkposts, despite of having scanners at the hotel also.
Samir Soni, please.
For a public figure,
Samir, louder.
You have to stand up to your reputation.
On him just because he's a celebrity.
I said that if you call yourself a celebrity or a public figure, there is more responsibility on you. You have to behave yourself. Don't dismiss it. You can't have the cake and eat it too. All the more responsibility. If it was some random person, I probably wouldn't have cared, because he's not going to influence anybody else. But a person who probably has following of million people, and God only knows why, you've got to be careful. And I think it's fantastic we're talking, otherwise this thing will never come to talk, because some people are talking about religion in this. No, please let me finish. Please let me finish. There people are talking about religion and stuff. My question is, if a similar thing happened in Middle East, what would you say?
Yeah, good point. Good
what
point,
would you say? Would you still say, oh, it's a mistake, it happened, it's all right, what chap, he didn't know.
If it would have been a random person, we would have not been talking here and debating like this.
What do you mean random person? What do you mean random person?
Yes, so that's the point.
Can go and take alcohol and have
normal citizens, law-abiding citizens are random. Law-abiding citizens are random, and dirty influencers are special.
Scanners, you have nothing to say.
What do you mean random?
When I talk about scanners,
what do you mean random?
Say about
Dushyant is on the debate. Dushyant.
Because he's the one who's influencing millions of people, the responsibility is on him. So he should have the audacity to face the questions and the agencies rather than hiding. If he had the audacity to do it, then face it.
You cannot make everyone happy. It's his own life also. You cannot make him an influencer. He can post anything.
There's a trial by media going on.
HSR Sharma is calling in from Chennai. I have 3 callers lined up. Mr. Sharma. Mr. Sharma, good evening. Mr. Sharma, can you hear me? What do you think, sir, in this case?
Yeah. Good evening, Arnab. I have 3 points.
Sir.
Number 1, I'm shocked to see some of the panelists defending this gentleman. I don't know. It's insult to gentlemen to call this fellow gentleman. Number 1. Number 2. Can he do a similar thing at somewhere in Mecca? The third one, if he is not at fault, why is he on the run? Will the panelists answer that?
Absolutely straightforward question. The answer is, would he do something like this at Mecca? And would Vivek Srivastava take the same position then? Kumar from Bengaluru. Kumar from Bengaluru. Kumar, how are you? Kumar, what do you think?
Fine, thanks, Arnab.
Yes.
I run a school, and what Mr. Sridhar and Mr. Soni have said, they have made very good points.
Yes.
Mr. Srivastava,
Just wait a minute. Let Kumar from Bengaluru speak. Just 1 minute. He's saying something to Dushyant. Yeah, go ahead. What were you saying about
No, both Mr. Dushyant and Mr. Soni made very good points.
Yes.
The only couple of things that I would add is this: you call Mr. Srivastava, he should be sent to China to learn manners, because he should be taught manners.
With you on that, man. With you on
that. Yeah. The lady, when she says the hotel management should be held accountable, if, let's say, he had done this in Dubai, would you say the Emir should not have given him visa? Is that what you're saying, ma'am? It does not make any sense at all. When you justify such positions, you must think about it. All it is required is for him to come on camera and face Arnab Goswami and really apologize for what he has done to the whole community.
Kumar,
He
I'll
doesn't
tell
have
you
the
this.
guts for it.
Kumar, this last week, we had the Republic Summit. I want to say this. I met two fantastic entrepreneurs. They're just 25, 26-year-old, Dushyant, you know. They run this space company called Spantric, and they are trying to build reusable rockets that go into space. And I feel so proud when I speak to a 26-year-old entrepreneur like that. They make me proud. People like Ori, Ranveer Alabadia, Samir Raina, they disgust me. They disgust me. They are the worst that has happened to that generation. They do not ever and will never represent the spirit of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Kishalai Jha from Kolkata. Kishalai Jha. Kishalai.
Yeah, Arnab, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, Arnab, good evening. How are you?
Very well, Kishalai. What do you think about this Ori character? What he's done at Vaishno Devi?
This is not the Ori character. This is the, kind of anti-national activity.
Yeah.
And I don't know, people are calling the influencer.
Yeah.
Influencer always influence for the good things, like you. You are influencer. Each day you take a topic, an agenda, where we get included. And how come people are defending them? Mr. Srivastava, आपके घर में क्या परिवार नहीं है, फैमिली नहीं है क्या?
पता नहीं कैसे करते हैं।
बच्चे नहीं है क्या इनके?
पता नहीं बूस्ट पार्टी कर रहे हैं, आप बताइए मुझे।
कौन सा पार्टी? जय माता दी हम लोग करते हैं।
आप मुझे बताइए कितनी वहाँ पे, कितनी आप समझ लीजिए, कितना धैर्य है वहाँ पे काटरा के लोगों का। ये आप कलकत्ता से फोन कर रहे हैं, ऐसे लोग कल दक्षिणेश्वर मंदिर के पास में भी बूस्ट पार्टी करने की कोशिश करेंगे, सब कुछ करेंगे। इनकी कोई रिस्पेक्ट नहीं है किसी के लिए।
जादवपुर को देखा है, जादवपुर एक्सपोज किया है आपने
जी।
हम लोग तो वैसे सिटी ऑफ जॉय में नहीं है, सिटी में है, ठीक है ना? दीज पीपल एवरी डे बिकम, हाउ कैन दे बिकम इन्फ्लुएंसर?
वही बात है।
हाउ कैन आप इनको इन्फ्लुएंसर कैसे बोल सकते हो सर?
जी,
वो होते हैं जो अच्छी चीजों को बताते हैं, नेशन के बारे में बताते हैं
जी,
यहाँ डिफेंड करते हैं कभी इनको
ना करोगे महाराज। You can't have a trial by media every time without the statement of the person coming.
सामान दोनों ही बिक चुका है।
आप चाहते क्या?
ईमान भी नहीं है आपका, सामान भी नहीं है।
You want that?
ऐसे लोगों को ना माइग्रेट कर देना चाहिए, वैसी कंट्री में ना जहाँ आपको पसंद है रहना।
Anyway, I'll take one more caller. बहुत धन्यवाद। Are you seeing the sentiment, Dushyant? Are you seeing the sentiment? That means this is real people, the people of this country so upset with what's going on here, Dushyant. But this, the majority has become too silent.
The masses will never support such acts, or no.
Yes.
Only senseless people will.
Yes, absolutely. Motilal Khanna from Mumbai is my last caller on this debate. Mr. Khanna.
Can I speak?
Yes, sir. Please, you can. Yeah.
I have done work all over the world.
Ji.
Absolutely. Let Ori try and smoke a cigarette on any street openly during Ramadan in Saudi Arabia. Forget about liquor in Vaishno Devi. Let him just smoke or chew gum on a street in Saudi Arabia during Ramadan. Let's see what happens to him. He'll be behind bars.
Absolutely. Mr. Khanna, thank you very much. I think they wouldn't be speaking this language then. I'll have to close at this point. And the fact is that Ori should turn himself in, and all the 7 people who boozed with him in Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine should turn themselves in, and they should be arrested. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And the other big story we're expecting big moves on tonight. President Donald Trump is set to hold talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin as he looks to get a buy-in on a US ceasefire proposal he hopes can create a pathway to ending the war. Ahead of his much-awaited talks with Donald Trump, the Russian President Vladimir Putin has demanded that all weapon deliveries to Ukraine should be halted during the 30-day ceasefire proposed by the United States President. So this is the big story that we are tracking this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We hope to get more details on this, and our guests are getting lined up on that because we are looking forward to see where this goes. Is a ceasefire within reach? Is it possible? How soon can there be a breakthrough here? Or are we expecting too much too soon? Okay, I think we have lined up. We have Brahma Chelani with us tonight, geostrategic expert. And Peter Kuznick is Director of Nuclear Studies at American University. He's live from Washington, D.C. This call between Trump and Putin, can this be the conversation that ends the war? How far are we from that? What do you think, Peter?
Well, we're all hopeful that we're going to make continued progress. But Russia is in the driver's seat right now. And Putin, as much as he wants to maintain friendly relations with the United States, Putin is driving a hardline bargain right now, a bargain that's going to be very, very difficult for Zelensky to swallow. Trump is a wild card here. How sympathetic is he really to Putin and Russia's interests? And how desperately does he want that Nobel Peace Prize? So I'm cautiously optimistic, which is what Putin said, but I'm not naive enough to think that this is going to be easily done. It's going to be very, very difficult negotiations. Trump does not have a track record as a serious, sustained negotiator, and most of the people around him are very inexperienced. So it's going to be difficult, but it's not impossible, and that's a lot better than it was even a couple months ago when we were so far from peace that there was no guarantee or no resolution in sight at all. So now at least we've got something on the table. Let's see how this discussion goes today and how much both sides are willing to compromise, because there are a lot of issues that still divide them.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a conversation. But Trump is a person in a hurry. Question is, will Ukraine accept it? Ukraine also has to settle for something. It does not have, as Trump says, all the cards. My question to you, Ruslan Botnik, who's director of Ukraine Institute Politics, live from Kiev tonight, is, will Ukraine have to back down and accept this or take blame for extending the war? There will be the need for Ukraine to accept some amount of Russian claims over its territory. Will they accept it?
It depends on the terms of that agreement, of course. It depends which about will be that agreement. And but nowadays we can say that Ukraine defeated in this war. War is going on Russian territory also, and so I think both sides need to find some kind of compromises, and Ukraine and Russia have to make some concessions toward each other if we are willing to achieve the stable peace. Ukraine is not defeated in this war, almost more, even we lost a lot in this war. And if this agreement will be balanced, Ukraine will accept everything. Moreover, I was talking with our militaries. They said we will fulfill the order of the president of Ukraine to stop the ceasefire if that agreement will be made. But if that agreement will be only against Ukrainian will, I think it could be a political chaos inside of Ukraine, and it will be a political suicide for Ukrainian elites now, and any fulfillment of that kind of agreement, unbalanced agreement, will be much harder to achieve.
I don't know if Ukraine has much of an option. Patrick Lancaster is an independent journalist who's been reporting near the Ukraine war front line. He's like from Kursk, which is the Russian frontline combat zone. What's the Russian view, Patrick? What's the Russian view on this?
Hi, thanks for having me again. I'm in the Kursk region right now. I've been every day for the last week with documenting